Hey everybody, we are live this morning and I'm so excited to talk about one of my favorite places in downtown Franklin, the Franklin Theater. I'm here with Paul Couch. How's it going this morning, Paul?
Well, so far so good. It's a lovely morning here in Franklin, Tennessee.
Yeah, I just have to say happy Earth Day.
Well, thank you, and to you as well. I think I think you probably need to go out and take a walk around and look at a few flowers, just in honor of the occasion.
I need to plant some flowers. I haven't done that yet. I've been waiting. I haven't been one of those people shopping for flowers yet.
Well, I mean, we could get that. As the wise people of the area will say, we still could have a dogwood winter or a blackberry winter. I don't think we're done with that yet. So we get those. Probably best to, as I am told, not being the horticulturalist, but as I'm told, best to wait for those things to pass by.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. Actually, one of my neighbors said that. You live in Franklin. You just came on to work with the Franklin Theater, but you also are a resident of Franklin.
That's right.
How long have you lived in the area?
Over 5 years now.
So tell us some of the things that you like about living in Franklin.
I think people who live here get the fact that it feels so good to live here. I mean, you're surrounded by. The environment here it's positive. I mean, it's beautiful. I mean, people really care about how well the community is taken care of. You don't have to go very far to see a variety of so many things. I mean, you can see, beautiful historic Main Street, and then you can get in the car and drive for 5 minutes, and you're out in the country, and into some of the most beautiful country in Tennessee.
Yeah, beautiful barns, horses, the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, I have worked a lot in the theme park industry, and there are sections of Williamson County I thought you could charge admission to, just to drive.
You mentioned that, which is going to bring me to my next question. You mentioned theme parks, so we got to bring it up. You used to work for Dollywood.
I did.
And so tell us about that.
Well, I mean, it's a lot. The great thing about theme parks is that you get to do what you do a lot all the time. And I had 9 theaters that I was programming there, and so we were either creating entertainment for them or booking entertainment for them. And it was a 9-month out of the year operation. So we were constantly turning over programming on the stages of all those theaters. Some were bigger than others, and some were outdoor areas. But it's a great opportunity to really get good at what you do, and to really develop good relationships and good processes for especially if you're a theatrical producer. You really have a lot of chance to get a lot of experience doing what it is you're good at.
So we have to ask, do you have a Dolly story from working at Dollywood?
Yeah, I probably do. I mean, because I got to work with her pretty closely for about 11 years. Probably my favorite one maybe would be, or the one that certainly comes to mind is we had written a new show, and it was called Shakanahay, and it was about the spirit of the Great Smoky Mountains and how they came to be and all the elements that created that. And on the opening night of the show at the park, it was VIP audience, and it was a big deal, and a lot of press. And after it was all over, Dolly invited all of everybody up on stage, including me, and we were all. And she said, "Well, let's all sing, the theme song together again." And Dolly turned around and looked at me and said, "Sing." And so when Dolly Parton looks at you and she says, "Sing," the best thing you can do is throw your head back and sing. So there I was up on stage, singing with Dolly.
Singing with Dolly. I mean, how many people can say they have actually had a duet with Dolly?
Well, who aren't Kenny Rogers? Right? Not too many. Sure.
Right. Right. I love that. Tell us about the Franklin Theater. What is the status? I know it's currently closed to the public, as along with most businesses, but what else is happening at the theater right now?
Well, that's actually, the Franklin Theater is living a pretty active life right now. I mean, true, we don't have audiences coming in there, and we have held off doing things for most of the month of April to comply with the governor's safer at home order. But we had a lot of projects started, and now that we're able to, we'll resume a lot of projects to make sure that the building is as safe as it can be. We'll have we'll have it very deep cleaned and sanitized. We also plan to there's some equipment upgrades and some safety that we want to do that just improves the theater environment in terms of safety and our ability to serve our audience. So I think when we are able to open, we will be able to provide as good or better guest experience as we've ever been able to provide. We've also, in terms of programming, there's a lot of things that we've had to move off of our calendar during this time that we've been closed. But we've been fortunate in that we have had to cancel very little of it. Most of it's been rescheduled. And if people are holding tickets to things like that, to things that have been rescheduled, really the best strategy is to hang on to the tickets, because they'll be, you'll be able to sit in the same seats in the newly rescheduled date. So, it's been a lot of that, and it's actually been a pretty good challenge, because it's programming we spent months putting together that we're now trying to reorganize in weeks. So it's actually been a pretty busy time there.
Yeah. Well, that's great that you guys are able to reschedule. I know some of the bigger venues in the Nashville are not able to reschedule some of those concerts and events that they've had to cancel them. So that's great that we're able to do that. What is the plan right now to reopen? Have you rolled that out yet?
We have not. I mean, we will be presently. I mean, it was since the governor just issued we now see what the end of the safer home order is. But what we haven't seen yet, we're looking for those guidelines in terms of what a business like ours can be. We know that there's that was sort of the A side of the announcement was the end of the safer home order. The B side of the announcement is going to be how various businesses are able to work in compliance with sort of in the new well, I guess what we're going to think of as the new normal. I mean, we know that we'll need to open the theater in phases. I think our challenge is going to be, we want people to get used to the idea of coming there, but we're not going to open the doors until we know that the people who work there and the people who attend things there are in as absolutely safe as environment as we are able to provide.
Yeah, just before all of this happened, you announced a great upcoming performance series, which I was like, it was like we got all excited about this, and then everything had to close. But have all those shows been able to be rescheduled?
Well, actually, the great thing about those is they're all happening late enough in the year that we feel like they're in safe territory. So those have all been on sale. As a matter of fact, we released we released them for individual sales. The series tickets were originally is what we had originally put on sale, and then week before last week we are now announced that we're selling individual tickets, and they've actually been selling pretty steadily. And and the first one doesn't happen until September, so I think we're all, there's a shared belief, I think, amongst those of us in this industry that we should be in safe territory by then. I think we'll all have to wait and see, but they are all currently, we're currently planning to do those as scheduled.
Tell me about the thought process, because you booked shows for different venues, about bringing this whole performance series to Franklin. It's something a little different than the theater has ever seen before. You've thought about families, and it's just, I love the variety of shows that you're bringing.
Thanks. It really begins a lot with, as everybody knows, the Franklin Theater is owned by the Heritage Foundation, and it really goes back to sort of their vision and their desire for how that theater occupies its place in the community. And while the theater has done a really good job of presenting concerts, the thought was, they've built a very particular audience, and it is by by strategy and by design, and like I said, they've done a great job putting it together. The Heritage Foundation felt like, okay, so we've been successful there. How can we successfully reach a wider audience here in Williamson County and a more diverse audience? And they've really established. They rethought the mission statement of the theater, and that really evolves now around using the performing arts to appeal to a wide and diverse audience, not only in Williamson County but the people who visit here. So the idea of the series, it's programming that's been crafted to give as many people the opportunity and the desire to see themselves in the seats in those theaters, and to be able to identify with what's taking place on the stage.
Yeah, and just to clarify, so people will understand, I don't think we've had a chance to do this. You're still going to do the movies, and you're still going to do the concerts that you've always done. You've just added this additional performance series.
That's right. Thank you for bringing that up. It's just really important, because I think we want people to know that the people who have loyally attended shows at the Franklin Theater and who have enjoyed the type of entertainment that's been presented there since it reopened in 2011, that theater is still there for you. I mean, that programming is still there. The kind of shows that you have enjoyed will be there for you to continue enjoying. And the theater's identity as a movie theater in the heart of downtown Franklin is not going away. I mean, we, if anything, we've looked for ways to try to be better at producing films. We've had in recent months, I should say, we've had better access to new releases and to new independent films. So I think we've been looking to try to up the ante in terms of our identity as a movie theater. So I mean those things that people have come to know that theater for are just as much there as they've ever been.
Yeah. Do you ever see Franklin Theater taking part in a Franklin Film Festival, like a small independent local festival?
I mean, we certainly would. Those festivals tend to be organized by, they tend to have their own nonprofit organizations that put them together. We actually have been. The theater actually has hosted a couple of small independent film festivals. I mean, we would certainly look to do that. I think it really would need to be an organization focused on who is focused and has the connections to create that kind of festival. Usually, they're themed around something, but we would be more than happy to work with an organization like that. We have a great space to do it in, and it's obviously something that people like to come and experience at the theater. So we would absolutely be open to the idea of that.
Let's talk about concerts. Who's on your wish list to bring in and perform at the Franklin Theater? I've always thought of the Franklin Theater. I know you used to work at the Ryman for a while. I feel like the Franklin Theater is kind of the baby sister of the Ryman. It feels like, because it's intimate and it's small. The acoustics are incredible. So it's fun to see performances there.
Well, thanks. And I agree with that. And I think the other piece of that is what makes people feel. One of the things people enjoy about the Ryman is it's so deeply connected to Nashville, and I think it also has that in common with the Franklin Theater, because it's so deeply connected to Williamson County, and so I think that makes it just even more so like the Ryman. I do have I will say, in terms of a wish list, I mean, I do have a wish list of shows. And my idea of a wish list are things that we actually pursue. So, I am actually in the process of pursuing a couple of the shows that are at the top of my wish list right now. And because of that, it's really difficult to talk about what they are, because, obviously when you're negotiating, you don't want to tip your hand in areas like that. But I will say, keep an eye on us, because like I said, we are not acting like a closed theater. We are planning on, we plan to be open, and I think some of the things we'll have to talk about will be as big or bigger than the things that we were talking about before we closed.
Yeah. All right. So you're going to make us wait. I'm excited. I've heard you talk about some of those people, but all right. I love the Franklin Theater. It is a great place to go see a show. You've been doing a couple things to your Facebook page, linking out to some of the upcoming performances. I saw, was there a juggler or something that did a
Yeah,
little?
Mark Neiser, who is part of our Family Spotlight series. Mark, he's been in the business a long time, very experienced, knowledgeable guy, a really accomplished juggler, really pushes the envelope in terms of the technology that he uses it in his production. And, one of the things that he did was create, he called them his cooped up video series. And it's things to engage kids and families. And he let us know that he was doing that, and he created a couple and customized them for the Franklin Theater. And so we pushed those out through our social media, and and it was amazing how people responded to them. I mean, people really, they got engaged in that way. In a very similar fashion, Black Violin, who's on our Great Performances series, I mean, they did some online master classes that we were able to make access available to those through our website. So a lot. We've been able to work with the artists to sort of keep an ongoing dialogue, an ongoing connection between the artist and our theater, and the artist and our audience. And I think one thing I've really noticed throughout this entire experience with the pandemic is that the open and free collaboration amongst the performing arts industry has been so good, like it's never been before. And I think that's a real positive, and I think we've all realized how much we can benefit from that. And I hope that's one of the things that's going to remain part of our new normal as we move forward, as we realize how well we can all work together.
Right. Because everyone has something different to offer.
Right.
Yeah. Well, it's been great chatting with you, learning more about the Franklin Theater. We're going to keep following to see those announcements coming up, I hope, real soon.
All right. Well, we'll try not to keep you waiting too long, and I think if you see one or two big ones coming up in the near future, you realize that's what we were talking about. So
yeah.
And then we can talk about those.
Okay. Then we'll bring you back and we'll talk about them for real. And we'll talk names.
We will.
Thanks again for joining us this morning. You guys go check out the Franklin Theater. What's the website again, Paul?
It's franklintheater.com. I mean, and it's always got new stuff added to it. So
yeah.
Pay attention.
How often? That's a good question. Before we go, how often do you add things to the calendar? Because I feel like drop.
We have been adding things. Fridays are the days when we typically put new shows on sale. It'll be Fridays, and for the last 3 Fridays, we've put new things on sale, and I will tell you, people are buying tickets. So like I said, the Franklin Theater, while closed right now, is a very busy place.
All right. So check it out this Friday. Hopefully there'll be some new shows. If not, go check out the calendar because there's always something exciting on there. Thanks again, Paul. Go check it out, everybody. We will see you again soon. Hopefully.
Well, thank you for your time this morning.
Yeah. Hopefully Paul will tell us more. We'll get him back and we'll talk more. All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.